The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 311 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. First, we're going to call it our toughest test because let's be honest, this is probably the best Liga MX team we could be facing at the moment. Probably the toughest competition we could possibly have in this tournament outside of Messi doing something miraculous. Let's be honest, this is the team, this is the challenge, and honestly, whoever wins this, in reality, that's probably going to be the favorite to win the whole thing. So, we're here for it. We're ready for it. We're getting details as we're on air, thanks to the Rosebowl and their slow way of doing things. But we will get you guys up to date for those of you heading to the game. Get all the other details in order as well. We're also going to cover RSL today and how we did in that match. Amazing match, got to be honest. Of course, to do all that, we got to bring back the crew. We've got Tony. We've got Araceli. I know, Araceli, you chomped on right when we were popping on. How are you doing tonight?
I'm actually doing very well, even though it's been a very hectic week for MLS Next Pro. I'm hanging in there is the best way to put it.
That works. That definitely works. And of course, Tony's on here too. Tony, how are you doing with the Valderrama vibes over there?
I'm doing all right. Just waiting and planning my metro or parking shuttle into Pasadena right now.
Yes. So we're just going to throw it out there. We've received information about the parking. It's finally come out, of course. Tailgating Central, Lot H, baby. Be there for that. Basically, all supporters, all fans of LAFC, you definitely want to be in the south side of the parking when they get there. But here's the catch. Parking is $50. Yeah, it just dropped. It'll be released soon enough to everybody. So you guys know. So you guys are ready on your way to the game because I know most of you will be hearing this on the way. Yeah, it's $50. So carpool if you can. Use the Parsons parking and all the shuttle like Tony's going to do because it's going to get a little bit funky going to the game. It's not cheap. Of course, if you do have season tickets and you were a part of the plan and didn't opt out, you should already have that in your wallet. So it is on. We'll get more into the details about the parking, about the setup, about everything as we preview the show itself. But we did want to throw that out there since it is out there right now. Sounds good, Tony? You ready for this?
Good.
There we go. All right. So before we get into Rosebowl preview and get you guys all squared away for travel, let's get into the match that we just won because it was one heck of a good one. One that made me very happy and feeling very confident about what we're up to, of course. That would be our match against RSL, a rematch, a reunion, we could say, with Moose and, of course, Chicho, our reigning Heart of LAFC trophy holder. Mixed reviews as he walked into the building. Very interesting. Of course, everybody was respectful when he got his ring, which was nice to see. But like I told everybody, when the whistle blows, the whistle blows, right? It's on. It's time. And thankfully, the crowd and the supporters acted accordingly, right? And unleashed everything possible for the sake of the squad. And so it looked right. It seemed right. Yes, there were mixed emotions for Chicho, but of course, that's how it goes. Ultimately, though, I am proud of our supporters and the way they treated things in this game. It was good. The emotions were right, and we were ready for this. And not only were we ready for this, obviously the club was ready for this because the lineup was pretty good. A little surprising, of course, in some cases, but I think Tony kind of called this one. So, lineup for the match. Ordaz got the start up top. That was Tony's world right there. And Araceli, you called it too? Or no, Araceli called it.
Yeah, I got it.
There we go. So Araceli's call. She got Ordaz right. Of course, next to Buke and Buwanga. Yeah, that's right. Buke and Buwanga. Midfield was Sanchez, Bogusz, and Acosta. Of course, that's Tony's world. I know that one's Tony's world. Bogusz getting in the midfield. So that was working yet again. Backline was Hollingshead, Long, Chiellini, and Palacios. That's right. Chiellini playing in back-to-back games. Check that out. That's good news, right, guys? And so that was our big lineup. Of course, McCarthy back in goal. I know Max is dressed. Max was in warm-ups. It was beautiful to see. But it's McCarthy's net until it's not his net anymore. And so that was the hand they went with. For the other side, not a lot of surprises to the lineup. Moose and Arango were, of course, up top. Ojeda, Ruiz were anchoring their midfield. Savarino and Gomez were their outside mids. Center backs was Glad returning back to the lineup with Silva, Eneli, and Brody as their outsides. And of course, McMath, being McMath, yes, he was back in goal again for this one. Of course, the game was exciting. It was comprehensive. Dare I say it, it was a better performance than the one that we won last time, even though the score was so lopsided. I felt more comfortable in this match throughout the full 90 than I did in that match. It was good. It was strong. Tony, highlights from the first half on this one?
Highlights in the first half. Ready? Substitution from Real Salt Lake Palacios for Ruiz because of an injury, and Chiellini gets shown his first yellow card.
Yeah, otherwise it was another one of those tentative, controlled starts, disciplined starts. But we didn't allow a single shot on goal, and looked in control for this thing. I didn't have any worry. Of course, we want to see the goals, and I think I even looked at Tony and a few others and was like, man, if you keep getting chances like this and keep pushing this and it doesn't pay off, we all know how these usually end. So it got a little bit worried on that side, but still, the performance was proper. Araceli, did you get a good chance to watch the match?
I did actually, and I agree with a lot of what you just said right now, especially with LAFC kind of setting that momentum early in the first half and dominating or controlling the field, I should say. But of course, as the game progresses, you do start not necessarily getting doubts, but it's like, okay, we can score a goal at any time now. But of course, as we will see in the second half, when everything explodes, all those worries wash away.
Exactly. And that was a story just like the game before, where we build up to it, we get comfortable with it, we find the flaws in that lineup, and we go at it. And that's pretty much what it looked like second half. It became very clinical. Tony, your highlights. Let's kick this thing off because it was a beautiful one.
Yes, in the 52nd minute, Denis Bogush. I was gonna say Denis Bogush, but it's like sorry. Buanga with a right-footed shot in the center of the box, off a fast break, assisted by Bogus with a through ball. So that just started off the way, and that even couple minutes later, after all the celebration, Buanga again with a right-footed shot to the center of the box in the high center of the goal, and another.
But the story on that one was funny though, right? Like, how did he actually get the ball?
Oh, it was just like
slob.
Like, yeah, exactly. Let's be honest. It was a slob. It was like a very what just happened there? And
yeah,
he just got it in.
I don't know what the back line was doing.
Yeah, exactly. That was it.
Yeah. They felt like they had their game plan, right? And then it just went fell apart. That was it. Of course, then it's time to celebrate because then the young kids start stepping up, right, Tony?
Oh yeah, 62nd minute. Ordaz scores a right-footed shot at the bottom left corner, assisted by Buanga. So now he's on the not just that he only scored his first goal for the senior side the last game, he now has his second goal. So like Joseph, myself, and everyone said, once he breaks the seal, he'll probably end up scoring more. And this is great, especially since he got the start. Now moving forward, maybe he still gets the start if Vela can't move forward. And
right,
go for it.
Right. I mean, confidence is there. What we needed from him, what he's been pushing for. Again, he's been creating opportunities. He's been making the right runs. Now it's on. It's real. He's a part of the team. He feels fully integrated. He has to be brimming with confidence at this point. It's what we needed from him, and he's doing the job in the absence of Vela. He did exactly what we needed from him. You cannot ask for any more from a young player to do what he did in this match. To watch him celebrate this goal, I don't know about you guys, but there's a little tear in my eye every time he does something. He's got that thing, right, that you just want to will it across the line for the man. The attitude's right. It's beautiful. Araceli, your thoughts on Ordaz and where he's at right now?
I just like the fact that I was right to call him to start in Vela's position. But jokes aside from that, I mean, Ordaz is definitely one of those players that I've even had the pleasure of watching on the LAFC2 side, where, very similar storyline to Eric Duenas. He's a very dynamic player. He has that it factor, if you will. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Ordaz also a ball kid now playing for the first team? Because I
I
believe he
believe
does.
so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe he has that. They do have that in common. So to see that progression is just it not only joyous, but it's also it gives hope for the club in the future. Now that we're seeing these young talents getting their moment to shine. So hopefully we see them remain with the club for a little while, but otherwise, I mean, I was really pleased with his performance, and hopefully, this is the confidence to get him through the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, quite happy. I think we're all there. We saw the potential. I know you saw the potential, Araceli. You've seen him a lot more than us playing for the second side. Um, it's paying dividends. The academy. While we're not getting results on the field with LAFC two, still our development is showing that we're actually building first teamers. And that you can't ask for more. I mean, this is what we do. So, good on everybody again for the development, and also Duenas dressed for this game and featured, so that was nice to see as well. Going forward, of course, after Ordaz, another new face enters the lineup. Another old face enters the lineup that made us all very happy, and it ended as icing on the cake. So Tony, go for it, man.
So the substitutions that you're talking about is the old face, Fall, and the new face, the new Kazvekt, which he ended up scoring in the 84th minute, and he got subbed in the where was it? It was like the quickest one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it was on a
50.
fast, yeah,
Yeah.
50th minute, but he ended up scoring on a fast break, assisted by Bogus, and pretty much what we needed to. It wasn't a pretty goal, but he got it in. Ricochet bumped off the defender a little bit, but still went into the goal.
All right, so all of you guys, so we need to get the name proper here. It's Philippe Yavorov Krastev
Krastev.
or Fufu, right? He goes
Fuf-
Fufu,
fuf.
Fufu.
Yeah, he goes
Yeah,
fufu.
Fufu. I don't know about you guys, but pretty darn entertaining player. Has a thing about him, right? There's an edge in his play. There's an aggressiveness to his play. Very direct in his approach, skillful. It was nice that he kind of came into that right in the moment. Pretty fortunate in the moment, but you had to make the run.
Mhm.
And the finish was proper. Actually, the finish was a lot of fun to see how we put it underneath him, and put the dance in that the kids seem to love so much. So that was nice as well. Dude, did you see the kids copying him in the stadium? Like, did you see it?
It's the gritty.
I know, but
It
it was
it's
hilarious that they were copying him.
Oh yeah, but that's like you use that celebration in FIFA or now EAFC
Yes.
to annoy and get two people to rage quit. So
It's hilarious. Hilarious. Whoever's doing the beta, good on you. I haven't got the code yet, so we shall see. Uh, yeah, dude. Honestly, I'm happy with what he was doing. The subs that came in. Of course, the other face to me that made me happy was Murillo coming into the game. And did y'all notice the little fight that he was having with the Rongo throughout that second half? I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Did y'all notice the little? Yeah, they had a thing going on, and it was pretty funny to watch. Of course, Murillo's first chance to get him, he got him. He sent him flying. And then you could see the back and forth, and it's like, yeah, I love you, man, but again, whistle to whistle. Sorry, but that's just how the game's played. And then, of course, Murillo, I love the way he played in this game. I love this approach, and I gotta say, the dude looks stronger now than before he got hurt. Like, he looks more fit now than ever. And that's great to see again. Palencia as well, doing his job, getting his yellow card as he wanted. I think he enjoyed getting that yellow card. I'm not gonna lie. he has a way about him as well. So really the subs, the movement, now having the conversation of who's going to start in the back line or who's going to get on the field because of injuries. Now we're getting the conversation of who's going to dress. Like, what a difference a couple of weeks off make. We're having conversations about who actually makes it into the into the game as well, and getting to be available off the bench. Well, last time it was, well, let's play Maldonado till his legs fall off. It's a nice change. It's a really nice change to have. Other than that, impressions, Tony, overall in the match?
Overall, it was, to be honest, the first half or the beginning of the game before the goals, it could have gone either way. Like the momentum, whoever scored first would have had full control of the game, and that's how it was. It was very concerning, scary, and of course, the thing that I keep bringing up this whole season is finishing is very key to our success. And when we do not finish, we end up losing, as you saw in multiple games leading up to this. And you also saw it with Salt Lake. They had multiple opportunities to get back into this game, to even take over the game, but they couldn't finish. So that's going to be very concerning, especially with the new opponent with Monterrey coming up, because they're a solid team. They're a full course meal. They have everything. They're consistent. They're going to be a really tough challenge. So if we don't like nip that in the bud or be at least consistent of just getting it on target and like putting it away where the keeper has to make a great save, then this could be a very long game coming in tomorrow.
True. They're a pragmatic team. We'll definitely preview them. I will say this. You played Arango. You played Moose. They had revenge on their minds. You could tell the way they approached this game. The fact that you didn't allow a single one to get a shot on goal the entire game. Let's look back to how long it's been since LAFC's pulled that off. Good luck with that. Usually it's this back and forth and everybody's getting chances and it's a bit of a roller coaster. This didn't have that vibe. Again, you didn't allow a single shot on goal. That is just extremely impressive for this side to where we were just a month ago. Right? I mean, we were all in trouble a month ago. And to see this, it's a welcomed change. Now, will Monterrey do better with those opportunities? Yeah, they will. We know that. We know the challenges in front of us. But for the opponent we had on the day, I could not have asked for more from this side. Job done. Araceli, your final thoughts on this match? And of course, we got to talk about 3 stars after that.
Well, when it comes to this match, of course, it's always going to be tough to see former players in the opponent's kits because to see Arango and that RSL kit, I don't think I'm ever going to get used to it. I'll be honest. But at least we were given that moment to see him get his ring on the field. But beyond that, I would dare to say the win was more of a statement win in a sense because we've said before, leading into the break, that the team seemed tired. They were suffering from fatigue, aside from the obvious inconsistencies, with finishing. So maybe it's wishful thinking to think that the team has heard the criticisms and are now taking that to heart. Well, here we are now. We're well rested. This is what we can do. And now we have 2 solid wins under our belt. Going into tomorrow, there's absolutely no doubt Monterrey is going to be problematic. So I can only hope that whatever the boys are eating for breakfast, they'll continue to do that for tomorrow.
There it is. Yeah, exactly. Continuity, keeping it up, keeping it solid. Of course, we can't really do 3 stars without the host of the 3 stars. So let's bring him on. Bam is in the mix. He made it on. Here we go. Welcome, Bam. How are you, sir?
If Fridays can stop being so horrendous for me, it'd be great. But at the moment, just getting there.
But you're here. You've made it. We're happy you're here.
Yay.
And your timing was impeccable as we've moved into 3 stars. So I'm just going to hand you the floor, man. You're on this.
Still doing 3 stars for Leagues Cup matches, though.
Oh, I know. But, I mean, this was fun, so we won. We can still do it for fun, right?
Yeah, we do it for fun. 3 stars, I'm going to go for... For 1 star, I'm going Dolo for make great substitutions.
Yeah.
I'm going Fufu for the Giddy. and I'm doing Bouanga for the flip.
Though the celebrations, they were epic, I must say. Epic stuff. All right, I dig it. Araceli?
I'm giving 3 stars to Ordaz for the goal. Fufu for the celebration, of course, and why not Bouanga?
Oh, I mean, come on, dude scores a brace and kind of owns it. I'm gonna get a little funky with this one. I'm gonna give my first star to, of course, Bouanga with a brace. Cross Dev, of course, gets my second star because, hey, man, you got one across in your first minutes in the game. It can't start any better than that. And my third star actually goes to Ryan Hollingshead. And Tony's like, of course it does. Why? Because the dude played every position in this game and did well in every one. Seriously, he started as a right back, then he became a right mid, then he ended the game as a right wing, but did well in all of them before coming off the field. It was kind of a trip to watch him everywhere. Guy does everything. So I'll give him that for effort. And of course, getting stuck in thanks to Dolo because he trusts him so much. So that's on you, Ryan. Good job. Good job, man. So there are 3 stars. All right, moving it forward. I know we're going through fast because I know you want to talk about Monterrey. Shall we throw this out to the community, get their reactions before we go further? What do you think, guys?
I think so.
I think it's time. All right, guys. You know what that means. Time to speak up. Let's see what you guys have to say. What are you up to? Who's ready for tomorrow? Who's freaking out about going there tomorrow? I know. I get vibes too. Let's see where we're at. First one in is Mark Lopez. He's got the LFG. There you go. Jonah, he says, let's go. Crew is back. Right. Assembled. Marvin Chavez in the mix. Smalls in the mix as well. This is what a game. Excited for our young guys showing up. And they did show up. And they did. Mark Lopez says, I like Chicho, but felt good every time he tried to do stuff on and off the ball and could do absolutely. Yeah, we shut him down. It was beautiful to see. He really had nowhere to go. He was completely bottled up. And yeah, he ate dirt a lot. He had to pick himself up a lot in this game. And that's what you have to do, right? I mean, we know how threatening he is as a player because he was one of ours. So you do what you do. Yeah, they've trained with him. They know what his tendencies are and take advantage of it. Soccer USA. In what world can RSL stop Bouanga? In what world can any of these teams stop Bouanga? Monterrey, you're up next. He's in form. It's beautiful to watch. I'm enjoying it. I know you're enjoying it. Steven Dilt says, my tickets for the 20th. LMAO. Yes, I know. Now I got to be on the lookout for the 19th. Luckily, I'll be in LA all weekend. Let's get through tomorrow first. Yeah, I know, right? It's feeling good. I know I'm feeling good too. But yeah, you might be switching things up. It could get interesting. Lola S is in the mix. Good having you on. Soccer USA says, once again, I will say Buke struggles to work himself into games as a starter. Not sure why that is. Opoku was similar. Both are extremely dynamic off the bench. I wonder if Krostev can play wing. Yes, he can. But he can also play defensive midfield, which I think is more natural, and of course, central attacking. He can go up the middle. So shout out to Acosta, who actually played defensive midfield to make everything work when it all got moved around. Yeah, no, he's versatile. He's young. We'll see what happens there. Jeremy Gomez says, I know they used academy players as ball kids. They did. For sure. They also snuck into the north end a lot. So I know that as well. Q Cardi, what's up, guys? Let's get this W. Honest thoughts on what the attendance numbers might be with traffic and the Rose Bowl being the Rose Bowl. Well, here's the problem. Even if it's 40,000, it looks like it's 12. Like, the Rose Bowl swallows crowds. It's what it does. I really hope they crowd sculpt this thing and only put it on one side. Sorry, Sunside people, but that's where you're going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's limited capacity, limited function, and a part of that stadium doesn't get used at all. Again, the more the gates open, the more you have to staff, and that ain't cheap. And we are basically in a moment of absolute necessity being at the Rose Bowl. I'll say that now. It's not like it's something we really, really, really wanted to do. I mean, we got bumped for what, the Bookies tour. We got bumped for Taylor Swift. I know, right, guys? We a whole week in residence, basically at SoFi. It's freaking amazing. Basically, every outdoor field that can function in this environment was taken except for the Rose Bowl. So what are you gonna do? Seed home and go somewhere else? Nah, you have to deal with the Rose Bowl. So yeah, we had to play there. And yes, I know information is trickling in because, dude, you should see the moving parts on this thing. To get a game off this quick is pretty hard to ask. It really is. And shout out to the boys, ladies, and the gentlemen at LAFC that are putting in the work all night because they're not sleeping. I know this. They're up right now, still working things out to get this thing across the line because it is not easy to do. Thank you, Q, for bringing that up. And he wanted numbers. 22. I think Monterrey fans will show up out of the blue. So 22. That's my call. Marvin Chavez. Love the Murillo and Long combo. Can't wait for them to start again. I know, right? They're dynamic. They're fast. Chiellini too was amazing on the day. But yeah, Murillo and Long, if it works and they're healthy, that's the spot, I think. Long term. Definitely. Hopefully. Soccer USA says Bogu's quietly becoming one of our most important midfield workhorses. 2 of our 4 goals were directly related to him playing defense perfectly and then playing simple ball towards the start of the counter. That's why they bought him. All this wing stuff was because, well, they didn't have a spot for him, right? I mean, that was the thought. But this is his real job. He trains in the wing, but this is his real job. He's finally getting to do what he wants to do, what he naturally can do best. This is why the boys brought him in, and now it's paying off. I'll throw it to you, Bam. Your thoughts on Bogus so far?
He's in the midfield. He's amazing. That's where he has to be from now on. I don't want him to see him up forward unless we need to push numbers up forward. But put him in the midfield. He's passing onto a dime is amazing, and we'll keep it up.
He needs the extra 10 yards of field to really.
He does.
Get it going.
Yeah.
And he likes lead passes, right? I mean, that's what he likes to do, and you can't do that when you're a winger.
No, yeah. As an attacking midfielder, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's working. I'm happy. I know you guys are. It's paying off now. Oh gosh, this one's for Tony. Dude, we've been joking about this for days. I'm sorry, but you're getting it. There you go. Lola says Tony is cute as hell. We agree. We love Tony. Tony's amazing. Tony owns the North End. Sorry. At least. Yeah, you know how it goes. I'll be nice, Tony. I'm embarrassing.
You just might as well say it. What were you saying in the North End because of this?
Oh, Magic Tony?
Yes.
Magic Tony. Yeah, it's Magic Tony. It's all good though. It's all good. He keeps us going. He is energy. Y'all know that. And we like the Valderrama hair today. I do. The curls are cool, man. It's good. I'm not gonna do that to you, Bam. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Oh, no, I'll let it go. All right. Dave says it's going to be tough, a tough fight, but we'll come out on top. Dude, I'm with you, man. Like, honestly, of all the teams, I thought this team was better than Leon, and then Leon kicked our butts, right? I know we were in a bad place, but this is the tough one. It is. It really is. Marvin Chavez, Hollingshead is like one of those players on FIFA that has 80 plus on every stat, good at everything. Right. I bet you he was that kid in school that was basically leading scorer in every sport. Whenever you played, this dude was always the guy like dunking it and getting it done. He's that guy. The one everybody's like, man, this guy again. He's that guy. Totally. Ox says, yo, let's party. That win tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it. Mark Lopez says Tony's shadow account identified.
Don't have a shadow account.
He doesn't. Tony is Tony. Tony does Tony things, and we all love him for it. Marvin Chavez. Also, Ordaz has some amazing runs from behind. Quick one-tap passes. Kids for the tiki-taka. Potential striker, winger only, versatile. I think Ordaz is getting trained into being a center forward, striker, striking option. Yes, he can play on the outside, but his abilities, definitely he's good at reading the game. If you go to watch him play at LAFC 2, it is a trip because there's everyone else and then there's him. And there are times where he tries to do way too much. Araceli can attest to this. She's seen it. Or he's in everybody's mix, even the referee's mix. John, getting it done, talking to people, moving. And so he kind of is everywhere doing everything. But we know when you can compartmentalize his play like he does when he plays for the big team, all of a sudden all that talent, it's focused, and you get what you get from him. It's great to see. I'm really happy with it. He just has to keep going with it. Mark Lopez wants Magic Tony on a jersey. Well, if they were in stock, maybe we could, but they're not even in stock right now. Right, Tony? Dude, he's gonna end up with one at the end of the year. You all know it. You all know it. Defenders is gonna buy it. I know this. Jeremy Gomez says, honorable mention for RSL. Fall as a sub, both corners. He had the highest jumps on the field. He will have a set piece goal soon. Dude, that one corner kick. I remember he came in and I'm like, oh man, defensively, I'm not sure. And then I'm like, well, we do have a dead ball. And then he did what he did. It's only a matter of time. If he gets regular playing time, I'm figuring 5+ goals on the year from dead balls. What are you thinking, Bam? About a 5+ from this guy?
Yeah, over under, I'd say 5.5. So I'm going the overs for that. With him in a dead ball situation, we know his jump, we know what he can do from those situations, and he's tall. That's why he's in Senegal. You know, he gets up there and he does what he's got to do.
Yeah, that's the function. You know, once he gets his head into it proper over time, he just needs minutes for that. We know what Fall can do because he's done it before. So, yeah, he is a great player. He just, again, needs minutes. Ooh, Soccer USA has the question here, and I think we kind of have the answer because we've seen it. He says, if Dolo were to sport a hat, what style of hat fits his persona? Well, I know when he did the reveal, it was this one. So it would be the 5950, I believe, all black. That's what he did when they revealed him. I know the hair's slicked. What's going on? I had the crazy hair. Now I don't. Tony had the slick back hair. Now he's got the crazy hair. What is Araceli going to do this week? I have no idea. He has no hair, and it's going to start growing. Great. These times, I swear. He's going to show up in a wig. I know this. All right. So I would say this. He's going to have this, but if you guess dad hat, black on black, you'd probably be dead on the sideline. I'm thinking. All right, Bam, throw it in. Go for it.
He wears a magic hat.
The magic
Plain
hat?
simple. Magician's hat.
Bro. Watch him come up with like a painter's cap just to throw us all off. We'll see. We shall see. The things you guys come up with. I love it, Soccer USA. Keep these things up. It's fun to do. I dig it. All right. So no comments remaining until the second half. I see that. All right. So we will get back into it. We'll talk the biz. We'll talk community news because Tony likes Magic, but Tony likes community more. So, Tony, you have the floor, my friend.
So, for any of you guys in San Diego, SD LAFC will be at the San Diego Tap Room at 7:30 tomorrow. For all those who can't make it into Pasadena. And of course, before we go into the big news about Pasadena and everything like that, we still need to fund the Mo Facio futsal court. It's on, the link has been fixed. So if you want to donate, it'll be at lafc.com/Mo-Facio. Donate whatever you can. Let's get this thing built because it's been far too long since we started this and it needs to be done and over with. So yeah, and let's talk about Pasadena parking.
Oh boy. Okay. Do you want me to start? You got this. You got this, right?
Well, we'll start with this. We've been getting minute by minute information about what's been going on, and like right now, I'm still getting updates on my phone. So, we'll give you with the most general information. Parking will be $50. At Pasadena. So if you can, so again, parking's really expensive nowadays. It's no longer, you can do your little tricks to get into it and just pay a little bit cheaper. But it's going to be $50 at the door. everyone highly recommends that you metro in or shuttle in. That's what I'm going to do as soon as I am off work. I am going into pretty much downtown Pasadena, parking and taking the shuttle in just to save traffic and also getting in and out freely. Besides that, it's just take over from there. Joseph, whatever needs
Okay,
you got.
so when it comes to the parking lot itself, the two lots that LAC supporters should be going to are the south lots. Okay, and when I'm talking about south lots, I'm talking about lot H. That's the big grass field. Okay, which I'm figuring the tailgating is going to happen there, and of course lot K, which is paved. Both south side, both easy in, easy out. I mean, this never easy out. It's a Rosebowl, but those are the closest ones to actually major thoroughfares, right? And so those are the ones that you going to want to do as LAFC fans. We haven't heard of a big number of Monterrey people prepaying at all for this thing. Obviously, it's short notice, and day of game will be something heavy. But we were told that possibly they would have other options if they were in communication to park as well. I know I'll be in lot H. I know Tony will be in lot H. He ain't parking there, but he'll find his way there. I think most LAFC supporters are going to do their best to congregate in lot H. You're asking why? Well, we're gate A. The supporter section this time is the south side, not the north end. We're now the south end for this one. I know that's just where they prefer it to be for all of us. So yes, those lots are your best option to get in. Your ticket links, it's already been sent if you were in the prepaid setup, or the option in. It's already happened. They're kind of interesting where they're placing everybody, but that is what we're seeing now. If you're general admission supporter, which is a massive section, so I'm sure there's plenty of tickets for it, you go where you want, just like the north end. It's not set seats. There's benches, but we're going to be all over the place. So be prepared for that. Okay. Those are the big ones I've got right now. Of course, timing is the other story. I'm going to throw it down there. Parking lots will not open until 3:30 p.m. Confirmed. 3:30 p.m. Shuttle operations will begin at 4:30 p.m. So, Tony, you better be there early. Gates will open at 6. Match begins at 7:30. Again, tailgating is permitted to a point, right? There's still limitations. Just be aware of that. Check the links when you do it. Get your tickets. The big one I'm going to say for everyone right now is please add your ticket to your wallet, like now. Okay. There is no reception down there. It is trash. So if you're not settled before you go, ask Tony. He missed the first half of Real Madrid match because of this. He's our story. I'm sorry, Tony, but that was brutal what happened there. Be prepared ahead of time. Get it done ahead of time. And yeah, right now, from what I've seen, it is pay in place parking for $50. That hurts to say. There might be a link popping up as we go forward. Check with your local supporter groups for that information. But right now, for the public, what do they know right now? Again, cash, baby, or whatever. They'll use cards, but that's it. Activations are going to be minimal. Again, short notice. There will definitely be concessions, but a limited capacity as well, because it looks like the stadium will be open and limited in capacity to accommodate for what we're going at right here. Supporter stuff, deal with your local supporter group for that as well. They've got your details as to when things are going to happen. We're not going to broadcast that stuff, but yes, supporter culture is real. Supporter culture is happening. If you get your general seating, let's do this. Get nuts, get crazy. We're dealing with Monterrey, a big team, people. And so we need you to, at your fullest, as early as you can be there. Trust me on this. It's going to take a long time to get in, because if everybody's paying for parking on the spot, can you imagine if they're all using their cards, how slow that process is going to be? Get there early. Get there early. Critical. All right. Anything else you want to add into that, Tony? Or sounds like we're ready for this thing?
Just get there as early as you can. If you can take some PTO, take it if you want to go to this match. I know it's like last minute, but it's one of those things of it's a big match, of course. Monterrey, we've never faced them. It's Tigres' rival, so we also know it's going to be a great match as well, because if they can keep up with Tigres every year with what they built, then it's not going to be a walk in the park. So get there early as best you can. If you're going to get in there for parking, make sure you have cash to make the process a little bit faster, or shuttle in or metro in or Uber in if you can.
That's the story, people. That is the story. So be ready, get crazy. Let's have fun with this thing. I know it's not a preferred home, but let's make it our home away from home. That's for sure. Also, I saw gates A through C are the only gates that are going to be possibly opened in the stadium altogether. So that's a little strange too. But there you are. It's on, guys. All right. So before we get into the match itself, I know we've got our community news covered. Let's talk LAFC 2, and then we'll preview the match. Araceli, what is going on in the world of LAFC 2?
Better question is what's going on in the world of MLS Next Pro, because kind of like how I mentioned in the last episode, even the beginning of this one, we are getting closer and closer to decision day and playoffs. So things have really been ramping up in the world of MLS Next Pro. As a reminder, the season is significantly shorter than that of MLS, whereas Next Pro has 28 weeks, and we are actually kicking off week 22 on Saturday with LAFC 2 at Titan Stadium. But first, last night they fell to Minnesota 1-0. Minnesota's Cameron Dunbar scored the lone goal in the 26th minute via a penalty. But despite this, LAFC 2 did have 58.7% of possession. They logged in 16 total shots, 3 on goal. Crepeau made his third appearance, making 4 saves. So the match itself really could have gone either way. But ultimately, it was Minnesota's penalty that gave them the win at the end of the day. And as I just said, they will be playing again this coming Saturday with a 1 o'clock kickoff as they host Carson for the second edition of El Traffic Chico. I know that's not everyone's favorite name, but that is what it's being called. Somewhat of a good news, if you will, Carson is coming off of a 6-1 loss in Portland last night. So hopefully LAFC 2 will have that advantage. Not only will they be back at home, but even in a quick turnaround, Carson is traveling. So a little bit of an advantage for the boys. LAFC 2 did lose to them 4-3 the first time both clubs met. But with all of that aside, I mean, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. So I highly recommend everyone go check out the match. I know it's kind of a tough ask, especially with the Rose Bowl tomorrow, but you guys can power through. I have faith in you.
Good news is I am hearing that there is going to be a pretty decent group going from 3252 that they will represent well. I wish I could go. I cannot. But yeah, definitely go if you can. I went to the last time out, and it was a good time. It was a really good time, and it's worth it. And against these guys, it's going to be totally worth it. And who knows, Max might feature in this one. There will be some first team. Fall tends to get minutes too, so you will see some first teamers out there. It'll be good. All right, I guess that brings us to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute. I am ill prepared. I will be honest with you guys on this one. It was kind of a hard find this time. I was tempted to go with 311 since it's episode 311, but if you guys got any, I say throw it out there again. Yes, it looks like somebody has one. That would be Bam. Go for it, sir.
I got one. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a Australian hit here. It's a song came out in 96, song done by Kylie Minogue and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Where the Wild Roses Grow. Playing the Rose Bowl, so how do you go with that one?
Got it. All right. That works. Could have done Traffic too, right? But that works. Cool, man. Good choice. There it is. We're going with Kylie Minogue. That's her second appearance on the Heart of LAFC, thanks to Bam. Right? Talking about 3 stars. She's in the lead right now for artist appearance. So yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think that one works for me. If you guys have one you want to throw out there for this, go for it. Think of some songs since you're going to be in traffic a long time going into this game, because yeah, you'll definitely need a playlist for this one. Yeah, it works. All right, let's get into the match. Yeah, Tony, what do you got?
Kissed by a Rose by Seal.
Ooh, Batman Returns,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Gosh, that was a long time ago. All right, there he goes.
classic.
Batman Returns. Nice. Soundtracks. They were getting into soundtracks for the Vinyl Club Minute. I dig it. It's cool. That's a good movie, though. I dig it. It was fun. Batman, come on. All right, cool. Let's get after it then. Let's talk about the preview, talk about Monterrey. This one is real, guys. Of course, before we do that, I do want to talk about the Leagues Cup update. Of course, we're playing Montreal as the top end of the quarterfinal. Of course, we would be playing the winner of Nashville and Minnesota if we get through this thing. You're like, what happened to Club America? I thought Club America won this thing. VAR said no. The whole world thought it was over. The North End thought it was over. We all kind of turned off our phones so we could focus on ours, check at halftime, and went, wait, I thought we saw, Club America win. But no, that didn't happen. VAR went, hey, even though there was a linesman standing on the freaking line with a flag, he wasn't good enough. We're going to step in and call this. Was it the right call? Yes. Was it the right call at the time 10 minutes later? Hell no. Just amateur stuff, guys. But hey, it is what it is. National Minnesota make it through. Yes, you go for it, Bam.
I was watching that game because obviously being at home, got my setup. I was watching that game before our game, seeing all the pitch invaders, all that kind of stuff after it, then waiting to clear them off and saying no goal, go back into it. It was absolute shambles. Now, I will go in and say this as we're talking about Leagues Cup and all that. I still don't like it. It's a money grab. It's a cash grab. That's all it is. But the absolute craziness, shithousery from the games, it's been incredible to watch. I still don't like it, but it has been incredible to watch.
No, the tournament has definitely joke vibes and let's make a buck vibes, but I don't know, the team seem to be taking it pretty damn serious. And yes, there's a lot on the line with the CCL involved. It's real. There's something to play for here. And pride, of course, for a lot of these teams. Thinking about Miami and Charlotte on their side, we'll talk about them. For some of these teams, this is the tournament. This is their chance to do something, right? To have a good run. Because, dude, is playoffs going to happen for them? It's not certain, but here they can take a team out. Here they can really build off of something, and so it's meant something here. And a lot of teams have been angered that have been dropped out too. You got to admit that too. There's been a lot of afraid nerves for not making it. So it's been fun to watch on that set. And yes, the games have been hard nosed as they should be. They've been contested properly. They've been proper matches. Scores are nuts, but still, it's kind of cool to watch. Let's be honest. Who isn't looking forward to playing Monterrey? It actually worked out pretty good. Now, the other side of the bracket, of course, is the weak side of the bracket. I'll just say that right now. The final four there, we have Philadelphia and Querétaro. Really interesting to see how that's going to play itself out. I think it could be anybody's in that match. And then, of course, Miami versus Charlotte. Congratulations to Miami for getting the easiest bracket in the history of the Leagues Cup, even though, of course, it's the first year of the Leagues Cup. Dude, let's just walk you to the final. We'll buy your airfare, whatever. We know what's happening here. The Messi show continues. Of course, that game will be played tomorrow as well before us. They go 5:30, we go 7:30. So if you get a good enough reception at the tailgate, or you're not going to the game at all, enjoy watching Messi do Messi things because it's been pretty impressive so far. Looking at this, guys, I'll go to you, Tony. Is it kind of consensus that somehow, some way, Miami's going to get to the final here?
The way it's going, yeah. It's been more of, I don't want to. It's been more of player watching Messi play than them actually playing against him. Is the best way
Yeah.
to say it, and it's a real thing. Honestly, it's a real thing. It's probably what happens in Saudi Arabia right now with Benzema, and Cristiano, and Sane right now in there. It's because it's a high caliber player that you've usually seen in Europe with Barcelona and of course PSG, but never here in the States. It was like on a full game process. Because again, they come here, but it's more of like, oh, it's a scrimmage, it's a friendly. They're there for 45 minutes and that's it. So it's the easiest bracket on the our side, of course. We knew, and then also Liga MX knew that like they were going to be hard on the our side because of who they had to go face against. And even after this, it's still not going to be easy for us.
No.
But it's, somehow, some way, as everyone said, it's rigged or not rigged. But again, at the end of the day, everyone forgets everyone agreed to this, and MLS didn't push this cup to be, done. It was pushed by Liga MX to be do it 4 years ago. They wanted this cup to be pushed on so they could, bank on us and make all the money. And then they agreed to the terms of being here so they can make more money, because I've said this before to a couple people, and I've had conversation is, I'm sorry to say, and I love all the MLS teams, but no one in Mexico is going to go to any of the stadiums to go watch Cincinnati or
Bulls.
SKC or Red Bulls, exactly, because they're not well names. The only ones that they're willing to go see are LAFC, Galaxy, because of the history that they have and their known name, of course, and Inter Miami was placed into this because of Messi.
Yep. So it makes sense. I would not be surprised if next year, when it gets to the knockout round, farther down the line, that maybe a semifinal finds its way to Mexico. If this continues on, we'll see. But yeah, if it's gaining popularity, it will definitely get games moved. Could you imagine if this game against Monterrey was at their iconic stadium with that beautiful view in the background? Like, would be epic, right?
It'd be a quick turnaround for a lot of supporters to go there, because I know everybody would love to go there to set it up, but it'd be crazy.
Well, I mean, it would be established ahead of time as who the top seeds would be, so you'd kind of get a little bit of an idea, but you could see things happening down the line. That's for sure. All right. So, also, who had it on their bingo card that Monterrey and Querétaro would be the final two Liga MX teams to appear in this tournament? Did anybody?
No, I had America, maybe Toluca, Monterrey. Most likely, I would say it was one of those favorites to stay there. But I expected Tigres also to be there. But again, they got their rivals on their side of the bracket earlier than later.
And a beneficial penalty at the end, which was funky too, but it was what it was. So sloppy, but it was. So there it is. There's your bracket. That's who's facing who. We are home team all the way through, which is beautiful. As long as we get the win tomorrow, we would definitely host semifinals and finals if we can get there. So it's nice to be the top seed, and thank you, Pachuca, for dumping out so early and making this such chaos. So there we go. All right then. So let's get into the match. Let's get into where everybody's heads are at. Let's properly preview this thing. So Monterrey is coming to town after a very difficult match against an arch rival. Of course, if you look at their form, it is scary good right now. Right, Tony? How many wins do they have in their last 5 games?
They have pretty much, Monterrey has all wins, 5. They've beat,
right.
Of course. Yeah. They beat They beat Tigres 1-0. They beat Portland 1-0. They destroyed Seattle 4-2. Beat Real Salt Lake 3-0, and Mazatlan 3-0.
Making it look easy, scoring 3 goals, 4 goals, and then the last 2 got tight. but also only allowing 5 goals in the last 5 games. That was only in 2 of those matches.
Mm-hmm.
Pragmatic, tough, difficult, looking like a major threat in Liga MX when they get back into it. This is a tough team. This is an informed team. This is a team that had changed leadership because they didn't like their playoff performances. This is a team that will be difficult for us. And to me, they're the most organized one we're going to be facing in this tournament. Even going into this was the one where it's like, I want them, but I don't want them, knowing who they are. But we're here. So this is where it's at. Now, in terms of injuries and suspensions, Bubkiss, right? I mean, we know Vela is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, everybody else is available. Right, Bam?
Everything's quiet. Everything's quiet. I've been trying to find for the last 10 minutes something, nothing
No.
from us, from Monterrey, from any club. Crickets.
Yeah, it's like an NHL playoffs game. Nobody's going to tell you the truth about anything. We won't know that 3 guys have broken legs until the tournament is over. That's just the way things go because it's knockout rounds. Yeah, we do not know. What we do know, though, is they have some amazing players that we have to deal with. And the fact that Funes Mori, the guy that we were rumored to be going after, comes off the bench tells you how loaded these guys are. So, Tony, do you want to say who their leading scorer is right now and who's been performing in this tournament right now? Or I'll throw them out there. I'll go for it. All right, I'll go for it. So, Herman Berterame. I hope I got that name right. Dude's got 5 goals in the last 3 games. Yeah, they have their own kind of Buanga. Check that out. Of course, they also have Maximiliano Mesa, who's got a goal. Jordi Cortizo and Sergio Canales also have a goal. Yeah, it's spread around a little bit. In terms of the assists, of course, Mesa's got one. Romo has one. Eric Aguirre has one. And Bertrame as well. So that's in this tournament. Of course, historically, we know how tight this team is. Now, looking at the last lineup against Tigres, they played a 4-4-2 setup with Funes Mori and Canales up top. Romo and Govea as your central midfielders, Mesa and Rojas Lopez as your outside mid. Familiarity right here. Medina Moreno as your backs, Aguirre and Gallardo as your outside backs with Andrada as your goalkeeper. Now, compare that to the match before. I believe they played with they switched it up against Portland, and it was Cortizo and Bertrame up high, with Govea Romo as central mid, so no shock there. Mesa and Rojas Lopez as outside. Backline was Guzman Moreno, so Moreno was your constant, and then Medina shifted out to the right, and Gallardo stayed on the left. So you did see some shifting around in terms of the top line. Gonna be tough to figure out who their guys are gonna be this time. I would not be surprised if it was Funes Mori this time. Probably with Canales as well. I think that would be their guys, even though that Bertrame has got the numbers. So I'm gonna refer to you on this one, Tony. You know a little more than I do about Monterrey. Who do you think their strike partnership is going to be? Because it's going to be a strike partnership. I don't see it any other way.
With them, it's honestly it could go either way. They're like I said, it's
Pragmatic.
not. Yeah, they're pretty much they're very team oriented. As much as because they try to keep up with Tigres again. Monterrey and Tigres are the 2 new powerhouses in Liga MX. They've been coming in the last couple of years. It's like this rivalry has been blossoming a lot more from the days of where it used to be Club America or Chivas, or then you would have Santos come in, of course, but then they would sell all the good summer. But this rivalry with them, even with Monterrey keeps up with their just tactics. They're tactically sound. You know what I mean? They're like I said, they're a full meal, defensive wise, midfield wise, attacking. They're a full meal. It's you can stop one end, but you have to watch out for the other end. And if you stop those, you still have to break down the other end of their defense. So it's going to take a real all-star performance. And like I said, I will be surprised if we go out of the first half 0-0, to be honest.
Yeah, allowing no shots on goal in the game isn't going to be a reality. It's just not. It's not. They're going to get their opportunities. They're going to plug it. This is a team that's got patience as well. So they'll take their time. It could be one of those cases where we're filling each other out for most of the first half, which we've been doing lately. But still, it takes a couple of passes and they've got you. And so it's going to be hard. I think maybe, and I'm looking back at like the Seattle match. Funes Mori and Bertrame started together. And that's where Bertrame got his hat trick. That could be a thing for this match. I wouldn't be surprised if that's your combo. Thoughts on that as well. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I there's no way around it. This is the hardest team for me, at least that matches up with our team. I think this was the one that's like, oof, okay, this is going to be wild. Leon was a revenge match for us. We didn't get that shot. That's okay. It's all right. But really, I do feel that the two strongest teams in the tournament are facing each other right now. Yes, Tony.
I know. I was just fixing my camera. Sorry. Apologies.
Gotcha. Araceli, you want to add in on this? Your thoughts about facing a team like Monterrey?
I have to be honest, I really don't have too much to add, considering I really haven't seen Monterrey in a couple years. So I can't speak too much, to their lineup. But based on what I do know is that they are still a powerhouse team and they will be a thorn in the side. So it's going to be one of those matchups.
It will be. It will be. Again, patience is a virtue for these guys. Do watch out for their outside midfielders. They will be good at getting around. I know we like to shift up high. Palacios is going to have a workout for him against Mesa. It's going to get tough for him out there. We're going to have to be really careful on shifting over in that case, which, of course, I think that tells a story about what we have to do in our lineup and who's going to have to show up for this game and who we're going to have to rely on to actually make it through this game. I think speed is something that's essential, and anybody that doesn't have it, I'd question if they're going to get the start in this game. It's going to be difficult. So I'm going to throw it to you, Bam, first. Of course, we know McCarthy's in goal, but who's your center back pairing? Because it's going to say a lot.
For me, center back, this is where it's going to get tough because I'm going to have to go for center back Long and Murillo.
You think Murillo's going to be ready?
Yeah.
For this one? He's going to have to be, right? Because we need the speed and the physicality.
Yeah. It's this thing where, as much as I want to see Chiellini start, his speed's let me down, but his knowledge and awareness could be helpful. But for me, Chiellini's going to be on the bench.
Ooh, so there it is. I'll go over to Tony. Your thoughts on your center backs?
Long and I'm gonna go Long and Murillo. Yes, I would love Chiellini, but it's just a short turnaround, and he did play a good amount of minutes in the last game. Mm-hmm. It's gonna. I would have, like I said, it would have put if it was gonna be just regular week game, like we had a rest. Chiellini, general, physical, easy to with Mori to physicality at him out. But since we don't have him as a physical presence, I would do with our next enforcer, which is Murillo, and that makes more sense. Fall is still too green, coming back from Spain, and Maldonado, I don't know where he's at the moment with it, but he may be a sub or a very crucial sub moving forward.
Interesting. Araceli, your thoughts?
Well, I guess make that 3 because I agreed with Long and Murillo pairing and have Chiellini be the super sub.
Hey, there we go. I think that might make sense too to shut down things. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think we all know Palacios is on the left. Right back situation, if it's not Hollingshead, I'll be shocked. I love Escobar. Was that? No, it's not Escobar. Why do you keep doing that? Palencia. Oh yeah, history. I get it. It's gonna be Hollingshead. I can't see it. There's a versatility there. And they need him to do what he does. Midfield, I think, is going to be also pretty settled as well. I'm going to throw my prediction. It's going to be Sanchez, Acosta, Bogusz. Why would it not be? It's been working so well. Why would we change this? Ursula, do you think it's going to be any different?
Don't fix it if it's not broke.
Exactly. Which also brings us up to the strikers and what we're going to deal with on that, Tony. So I'm going to give you the first crack at your lineup. Who do you got up top?
Bouanga's an automatic for all of us. We can just get that out of the way. It has to be Ordaz. I think he might be more of an automatic. He was questionable for me last game because of the performance, but now after the goal and consistency with it, I think with this team, maybe he might be the right opportunity. And I think it's Bogusz up front or Buke. Could maybe Fufu, but I don't know what his training, his training and physicality and also conditioning is. Could be that. So it's 2 automatics and striker, I believe, but the other one could be up for debate for any of you guys to pick. But I would probably go Bogusz.
All right. Ursula?
It's a little tricky because isn't Bella still a decision day or a match day decision?
Yeah.
Totally. Then again, he
Yeah.
was the same case for the last one, and we did not see him dress at all. So with that being said, I would probably go with definitely Ordaz, Bouanga, and I say give Fufu. That's his nickname?
Fufu.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
Or
I
just
say
call him
give him the
Krastev.
start and bring Buke in as a sub.
All right, cool. Looking at you, Bam, and I think you've got a wild card. Do you have a wild card on hand here?
Bouanga, obviously, straight up Bouanga. Buke. I'm going to keep Ordaz. I'm going to keep him. He did well. I was pleased with it. I'm going to keep him. I do expect to see Fufu in at some stage, and I'm also expected to see Mario get some minutes near the end.
Yeah, there was the guy. I was waiting for that one. So Pistolero is available for this game. His P1 visa made it through. He's eligible to play. I think he's an off the bench wild card if we really need it to add another striker into the mix. But I'm with you, Bam. I think Ordaz gets to start with Buke and Bouanga, and you're like, really? Yeah, I know who we're playing, but we need to keep them honest too, because they are going to overlap too. They're going to push numbers forward on us and try to collapse on us. So we have to keep them honest with the runs. If Vela can play, I don't think you'd see until the second half anyway. And at this point, the way Ordaz is playing, man, I think it would be a dream to see Ordaz in the middle with Vela and Bouanga serving the kid. We haven't got the chance to see that yet. If it would happen, it would be second half in this game. And again, I have a hard time seeing Vela dress in the moment if it's really that bad. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he shocks us all and shows up tomorrow. That would be beautiful, and it would really put us in a great position because he's been in amazing form. But yeah, we know how Vela is. When he gets a knock, it takes a little while to get him back into where we need him to be. So I'm going with the youth. I think that's what we're going to see in this game. Pistolero, though, I can't wait. I just don't know if this is the day. Is this the day? We'll see. We'll just see. And Krastev, I gotta be real. Krastev's real position is not winger. It is not winger. But he looked good in the moment, so I get it. I get why we're all cool about it. But I think his ultimate role is to provide relief for Ilie down the line. Really, that's his real. But in this case, Costa's the guy, and he looked good in the last game. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays. This is going to be hard. This is going to be very hard. Substitutions are probably going to be the thing that wins it. Decisions and where to place people at the right times, and that's what's going to be the turning point. Because if most of you guys know, a team like Monterrey, they can go 14, 15 deep and be good enough to be starters. They are deep. And so when they make a sub, there's no drop off. Just like when we're in our league and it looks like there's no drop off, that's where we're at. And both teams can do this. So it's the tooling of the game, the adjustments is going to be our story for this match. The subs. Gonna be wild. That's for sure. All right, let's throw it back to you guys as well since we're previewing
Before,
this. Yes, ma'am.
Before we do, there is a comment in there. I want to get onto this first.
All right. Do you want to pop it up there?
Yeah. From Soccer USA. Did you guys see on social media the list of LFC free agents this offseason?
Yes.
Thoughts? I was going to run through with you guys and let me know what you guys think. Acosta out of contract. Do you resign him?
Okay.
Now he is not even an option on his contract, right? He's a free agent. Okay.
Free agent.
The man has a dream of going to Europe. Even if it's the Swiss league, I think he'll go. I think it's gonna be hard to keep him. I want him to stay, but he has his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Max is out of contract.
With option, correct?
No
option. Oof.
No option.
Max doesn't want to leave. I don't think he wants to go. It's kind of a weird case because he's coming back from injury. I think we re-sign the man. I do.
McCarthy option.
He's high value right now.
Why I say option and possibly sell.
Remember, expansion's coming again, so that too.
Yeah. Ilie option.
How do you not option? Right, it's Ilie. If he's willing to still play, if he's not retiring, you have to option.
Or going back.
Palacios out of contract.
This one hurts because we just left money on the table here. Straight up. I don't think we're going to be able to keep him. I want to keep him. Who does not want to re-sign Palacios? You'd be an idiot if you didn't, right? But why would he come back? Why would he come back? There's already been offers, right? Why would he come back? I'll go to you, Bam. What do you think, man? What do you think he's really going to come back to us?
I would like to see him come back because we can guarantee him playtime.
Yeah.
But I reckon he's gone. He's going to Europe.
I mean, if Sifu, who's underperformed all year, ends up at Rangers, and Palacios, who has performed pretty much all year, right?
Yeah.
Been a way more important option for us in the lineup than Sifu. How does he not just look to Europe and go, it's on, dude, let's go? Crazy not to do it. He'd be crazy not to make a move.
And a final one out of contract, Vela.
That is on the money.
That's on him. At the end of the day, that's on him. Okay, so if he comes back and we can buy him down out of a DP, if you can get him under the DP contract, which I know they're expanding DP, right? If you can get him underneath, you can get even more tools, and he can make a run in the Champions League again. I think he'd want to stay. I don't think he wants to leave. It's the price. The price has to be right.
Yeah,
because you don't want to insult the guy either. He's Carlos freaking Vela. Right. Price has to be right. If the number, if the pot's right, the pot's right. You're gonna play. So
exactly. But there are some of the other clubs out there that have players that are out of contract. Corey Bird's out of contract with Houston. You got Andy Nahar is optioning at DC. Would you guys take his option at Austin right now? Uriti?
It's been off this year.
But you get him cheap though.
Yeah. He has that Austin vibe.
True. But
I mean, he's the one guy that naturally hurts us. He does. He just does. But I don't think we're going for that guy. You know how we are. We make stars here. We don't just buy them, except if they're
for those that want to look through it. I just posted the link to the list of the free agents, so that's something for everyone to look at.
Yeah, it was a little sobering on the Palacios front because I did not realize we couldn't option the man.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's the only one that went, oof. The other ones are like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But yeah,
And speaking of Sifu as well, he played 25 minutes in Rangers' 2-1 win over Serviette in the Champions League qualifier the other morning.
Sifu's playing in Champions League qualifiers. Let that sink in. He went from Leagues Cup to Champions League qualifiers. As dudes in the North End are screaming at him. Okay. All right. I love football. Football is a beautiful thing. All right. Cool. I guess it's time to go get those comments, huh, Bam? Shall I jump in there? All right. Let's do this. Scrolling back. Looks like David Day has had fun on here, as has Marvin. You guys are throwing it my way. Ooh. We got Miami Talk. Dude, check that out. Oh, Jonah B wants to know why the game couldn't be played on Saturday. Flea market. That's why we couldn't play on Saturday. I kid you not. The flea market. The flea market's Sunday, but they got to prepare for it. If you know the Pasadena flea market, you know you understand it's insanity. So there you go. Jose Quiero says LC played sloppy in the first half against RSL, and we're lucky enough to escape being trailed back. Monterrey will definitely not forgive those kind of mistakes. Let's hope our boys will solidify the back. They can hit it from distance too, so you can't play lazy. That's for sure. Soccer USA. If LAC were to meet Miami in the Leagues Cup final, where would the game be played? Here, people. We are the home team, no matter what. Availability? You pick Rosebowl or SoFi. Whatever's available. One of those two. They're going to go for the money. I know. I don't like going to the Rose Bowl either, people. I think Tony's going to cry. No
I
crying, Tony.
hate both stadiums.
We both have experience in dealing with SoFi and supporter setup and all that fun stuff, and it's not. No, the restrictions are just jacked. So not a fan.
Well, no, it's more of like the restriction for Rose Bowl was idiotic when we tried to set up for the Carson game, as you recall, and then the setup for the SoFi game, we literally had to break a flagpole to make it legal for the size, and had to tape it up so it wasn't a weapon.
Oh yeah, I stepped on it, and then it was like a spear, but they were okay because it's only a 5-foot spear rather than a 7-foot PVT pole.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, dude, no, it was 5.5 feet.
Yeah,
and I had to break it. Just ridiculous. Okay. The stuff we deal with for you guys, I swear. All right. Soccer USA. If we were to meet Miami, we would have got that covered. Ox is looking for another Miami-centered own goal by a former LAFC player. What? Yeah, I know. Ooh, Soccer USA. Which LAFC player would be the first to take down Messi? Oh, hands down, Ilie. It's going to be him because he can talk his way out of yellow cards like others cannot. For sure. All right. David Day. Rose Bowl again. Love it. Attendance may be 40K though. I don't think so, but that'd be fun. That would be fun. David Day asks, can we bring our own flags? No, you cannot. It's super restrictive. I don't want to get into major details for the sake of safety, but pre-checks are pre-checks. They're required. I know. Soccer USA. I have a feeling Palencia and Fall start. Ooh, Fall and a start against Monterrey. Gambling, brother. Gambling. We shall see. I have a hard time seeing it. Dude scares me still. Palencia, maybe, depending on how Hollingshead's feeling. Yeah. Soccer USA, at some point, Palacios needs a rest. Yes, no. Yeah, but I don't think this one. Maybe against Nashville. I don't know. But as long as he can move, he's going to move. David Day says, new Spaniard guy debuting yet. Potentially, he's available. I could see him coming in late, for sure. David Day also saying 2024 Leagues Cup should have games in Mexico. I think we all agree to that. I'm cool. But, yes.
It won't happen. It will never happen.
money.
Leagues know that Liga MX knows they make more money by having the games in US, plain and simple. But what I would like to see is, that, as I said a couple of episodes ago, neutral grounds for all the teams.
Kill attendance, though, I think, because MLS teams only show up for their own. Sadly,
except for us, we'll travel.
Well, we do everything, but we're pulling the league forward whether they like it or not. We know this. Been like that for a while. Tony.
Yes, the format is really unfair. So if you want to hit the travels and you want to talk about fairness, then for this tournament, put a salary cap on them, so they have to abide for our rules, and then we'll travel there and they can travel back and forth, whoever they want to do that. But have that salary cap with them and then see about moving players around, because again, at the end of the day, as much as they wanted to complain, to us, complain to the person who agreed to the terms and conditions, which is the president.
Yeah, I mean, they made this deal. Also, I'm sure their supporters get water here and their flags. They don't have to use shoelaces for belts like ours did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's make it fair. I'm good with fair. Let's go fair both ways. In the stands, out of the stands, fair. I dig fair. Fair is good. That's across the board. Marvin Chavez Gonzalez is available. Yes, he is. Agreed. Fufu is a mid. Q Cardi, have y'all talked about the crying about the mileage Monterrey traveled? Only we're talking about when it happens to their teams. They weren't talking about it when LAFC had done all that traveling. Yeah, they didn't care when Leon got to beat up a team that was basically walking wounded. No, they're just superior. Yeah, right. We saw how beat up our guys were. Sad situation, that match. Dave Gomez, this is Mario Gonzalez available. So, yeah, he did. He's good. He's good. He's good. MLS is increasing salary cap, David. That's what we're hearing from pretty much everybody. Yes, Vela does love us as well. Let's see. Moving forward. Oh, Marvin says, I think McCarthy is going to want a big contract. Going to be hard to keep in Crepo. I mean, yeah, the McCarthy saga is wild because he went from being unclaimed to now being an assured starter. It'll be really tough. But again, we have options, so we don't have to do much because there's an option. So yeah. Marvin says, of course, the fellow wants to stay DP, don't we all? He walks otherwise. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Soccer USA would love to see Vela get a 1-year deal with a 2nd-year option. Let him help us recruit some big names the last season or two. I do want to see that Griezmann high-fiving Vela moment. I just do. I do. I don't know how realistic it would be, but yeah, that would be nice. David Day, Dallas and Houston attendance sucks. 2 stadiums in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico would be great alternatives. I agree. We all had dreams of going there and it didn't work out. Jeremy Gomez wants to know, do you believe Ordaz can handle the physicality of Monterrey? Okay, so I'm going to say this because I've seen him bullying kids in LAFC too. This dude has an edge. And it's a funny, annoying kind of edge. And I've seen players get pissed at him, not knowing. You don't hear what he has to say or what he gets into it, but he's one of those guys. And I've seen the referees warn him. He did it in the last game. He does stuff off the ball. He does give as much as he takes. Ordaz can play a physical game, and I think he actually enjoys it. I know he looks like a kid. He is a kid. We know this. But he is not afraid of the physicality. I think he will be fine. I think he will get sneaky as well. My only worry is that it gets to his head, going with the back and forth. But he does feed off of that. He does. As Ox says, he can hold his own. He can definitely hold his own. He is the most of all the players I've seen at LAFC 2. He was the most physical player we had on the day from the last time I went and from what I've seen. So yeah. Soccer USA, I say swap McCarthy and Max contracts. 4th DP looks tasty. I agree, Dave. I agree. It's going to be a fun time when we get that 4th DP. Should have been a lot earlier, but then again, Chicho would still be here, guys, right? I mean, in reality, that would be happening. You're saying it, but come on, if it was there, it would be there. It would be there. It's just because we were stuck where we were. MVP, leading scorer? Yeah, hard to say otherwise. All right, Dave, good stuff. Q Cardi says, go Japan. Yeah, I agree, man. That's the team I'm rooting for. Outside of Australia. Sorry, man. Yeah, those are the two teams that I want to see go as far as possible. So there's that. There's that. All right, guys, see the comments? Dig it. Thank you, everyone, for all that they've added on today's show. It's been a real one, that's for sure. He was waiting for me to take that icon off just for this very moment right here. As Tony's changing his clothes, Bam has decided to lift the Magic Tony marker just for Tony, which I find absolutely freaking amazing. I'm so happy I took the runner off. There you go. There you go. Dig it. For those of you listening, just check out the YouTube video at some point. It's pretty freaking hilarious. All right. And yes, I'm with you, Tony. Go Japan. Love it. Love it. Tournament's been wild. Even better that way. New champions are the best champions. Yep.
Yep. And Americans don't understand what 1 millimeter looks like now.
Man, that's the most effed up way to learn metric I have ever seen. We still don't get it, so we're going to argue about it. Thank you. Damn, metric jokes. That's where we've gone. That's when we know it's time to go home, people. Right there. Metric jokes. Thanks for the dad jokes, Bam. All right. You know, it's that moment. It's that final comment time. That's right. We're doing our final thoughts. Tony's got to go wash some clothes, so I'm going to have Tony go first. Tony, final thoughts, sir.
Final thought is be safe out there. It's going to be a crazy one. It is against the Liga MX side, so you understand there's a lot of danger involved with this. Again, it's just saying the wrong thing, wearing the wrong kit, and it can go sideways. So traveling players, don't walk alone. Also, be mindful of your drinking as well. Again, we are representing FC in this as well. The whole world is watching us again. And so drink responsibly, drink a lot of water, get there as early as you can. And if you can't, Metro is a good option. Uber, I know they're doing shuttles from Pasadena. So if you can't get there, also, as Joseph will reiterate during his final say, make sure you have your tickets on your phone right now. If you haven't made the payment, you're still allowed to make a payment right now. Just get on it quickly, because they will be gone, and then you may have to pay resale value, which depending on the day may go up, may go down. But to ensure that you have your ticket, make sure everything's okay on your account and loaded. So besides that, go full 90. I will see you there, and just go until your voice goes.
There it is. Araceli, final thoughts.
It would be weird if I didn't say it, but another game, I'm considering this a home match. So, as always, please don't be an idiot. And more of what Tony just said, please be mindful of others and willing to help those who may need help, and just be aware of your surroundings. Always have a plan B. I've been to the Rosebowl before. It is very hell to get in and out of. Despite being a good experience for a match, the parking situation is never ideal, let alone getting out of there with a shuttle. So just be mindful of that, and just be ready to go a full 90, possibly even more.
There it is. Bam.
Final thoughts from me. First off, I want to shout out our good mate Philly over Defenders. He posted yesterday he's gone 96 days without a drink. And, congratulations on doing that, man. So he's been doing really well. So for me, keep it up. You're going well. To everyone on the show, Tony, Joseph, Araceli, and everyone in the chat here, thank you for all the kind words over the last couple of weeks. It has been difficult for me, Still is. But yeah, to everyone going to the game, go out, have fun, be safe, enjoy yourself, and let's go get the win.
Thank you, brother. Man, we're happy to have you back on. We're complete. We're not complete unless this crew's together. So thank you, brother, for coming on tonight. Always holding it down, man. Love it. For the rest of the crew, again, thank you guys, because again, this is the assemblage right here. This is how it has to be. So love it. For the rest of you guys out there, commenting week in and week out, giving us some great stuff to gnaw on, let's be honest. Thank you. The reason why we have the show is the reason why we're going an hour and a half and it feels like we've gone 20 minutes. It's you guys. It's all about you. For the rest of you guys that are in the LAFC faithful getting ready for the game tomorrow on short notice, I commend all of you for making this trek and making it happen. Rosebowl ain't easy. Rosebowl ain't cheap. Rosebowl is always a challenge. It's a bit of a hassle, but y'all know from whistle to whistle, it's going to be euphoria yet again, because we'll all be together again. So thank you guys for doing what you do. And of course, faithful, stay faithful. No matter what happens tomorrow, they need it for the full 90. We need the love. We need the noise. We need everything possible, because Monterrey will come out there. They'll come out there hard. They will have supporters show up. It will be a proper competition in the stands. So make it happen and make it worthy. And of course, represent us to the best of your abilities and put us always in a positive light as we support our side. Enjoy the tailgate responsibly. Enjoy the game responsibly. And of course, let's all get home safe and get ready for the next round, because damn it, we got to move on to the next round. That's how it's got to be. All right. On that note, final word. I'll go to you, Tony, first.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Araceli.
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.